Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're about to venture off into our second segment for the morning. YMCA, right? Yes, I got it correctly this time. They'll be updating us on their summer programs that's coming up. Yes, summer is right around the corner, and so why not get yourself enrolled? Now, to tell us more about it, we've got Dr. Clara Cuellar. She's in the middle. She's the executive director of YMCA. We've got Chloe Kelly, lead swim instructor. There she is. And Katelyn Haylock, swim instructor. Welcome back home. Guys, good morning and welcome. It's nice to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We hear about the YMCA, we hear about the YWCA and all the other CAs. When it comes to summer, though, the Y is always something that a lot of people prefer to choose to go. And then again, swimming, especially in the hot season, the dry season, which is upon us as we speak, is definitely one of those that you want to be out there. So let's get on into it. But then again, how long have the YMCA been doing its thing?
We have been conducting this program for over 20 years.
And this is a swimming program?
Yes, our swimming program, one of our biggest fundraisers that we have to just kick off the year.
Yeah. When you say our fundraising program, we're talking here, we're raising funds to continue with the YMCA. Tell us about your fundraising programs. What do we do?
For our fundraising programs, we really look towards getting the funds to continue our programs, most of all. So when we kick off our swimming program, we look towards our loyal volunteers, of course, the parents, the alumni that come back, and we ask them to really help us to continue and give back what we gave them when they attended our programs to the youth, so we can continue strengthening communities, empowering, really giving that self-confidence to the youth that I wouldn't say lack, but we need to strengthen and work on now.
Yeah. And that's the strength of, we always say at the Y, youth helping youth and youth learning from youth. Except for the higher tier where most of us, and I'm getting there too, are retired workers at the Y. If we can keep the costs down of the overhead, that's what she's referring to. So I say to all parents who have your children, your young teens, as well as the older teens, like the young adults, volunteer at the Y. That is funding, because by their volunteering and doing an excellent job, because they went to the program, they learned in the program, and now they're leaders. We are confident with them. That's a funding that we couldn't pay to get those great instructors. So it's greatly appreciated. We are developing their youths, and they are contributing to the program. It keeps the cost of the program down too, because the cost of a Y swim, which is a 2-to-1 ratio, it's just a little like $10.50 per hour. Who will pay $10.50 for that kind of private class? So the contribution of Radisson to helping to do their part in donating the pool and that cost, and so every cent that is made for the cost of $125 per child for 12 sessions is going straight to the after school program or a feeding program. And that's what she means by we are using this opportunity. This is our biggest fundraiser for the year, and it gets a lot of people involved too. All the parents who are involved through their children attending as participants or their children donating to volunteer, they end up giving back to Y in other ways too. We get a lot of gently used clothing that goes along with us with our children in the program, or we get doors open. They remember to see us, and we get doors open that even for internships for our young adults as they're branching off into sixth form and university. When they come home, if Y has to write a letter and say help with environmental science, get somebody in with the Manatee project or something. So they help to build a brand, build a name to show that we bring all our Belizean youths together at the Y. That's we still have that old school mentality that we can bring everybody together and learn that we're all people and we're making a difference in the world in our little way.
What do you think is the secret behind the success of the program? Because the longevity speaks for itself. You know, I said I went to YMCA swimming classes when I was a kid, and many others went through the program itself. Why do you think that it keeps on being such an attraction for parents and having their kids enrolled?
I think a part of it is with the structured guidance of the program, because the program isn't just getting the kids in the pool and just having them in the pool. You know, there's a structure to it. There are different levels, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate swimmer, whether you're advanced swimmer, and depending on the skill level that you're at, we provide you the teachings and the guidance to keep you up with the skills and to kind of promote you. So along with that comes, like, we won't push the kids farther than their limits. So we keep them within the skill level that they're in right now.
Yeah.
And with that, I think a lot of the parents, because I mean, for my parents in one, we really enjoyed the structure of it and how, you know, the kids weren't pushed. I wasn't pushed as a student beyond my limits. You know, we keep them within their skill level. And as they grow with the program, they also grow with their skills. So it's also not something that, oh, I'm just going to attend one summer and I'm going to leave. It's like I can go back one summer and kind of retouch basis on the skills that I have right now, but also learn new skills and to become a better swimmer through the program.
Yeah.
Learning to swim is basically a life-saving skill.
Yes.
And that's the truth. If you go anywhere, you're in water, you need to swim, you're saving your life. You did mention, however, beginners program, and I think that a lot of parents at this particular point would know that learning to swim is life-saving. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about what is being done for somebody who is so afraid of the water but wants to learn to swim. Let's go there.
We have a lot of what we call TOWs, terrified of water. Then those are normally the beginner stages where they don't really want to get in the water, they don't want to put their head in the water, and we kind of not necessarily force them to get in. We kind of coax them and kind of let them go in on their own level, because we don't want to just throw them in the water while they're afraid of it. So we use different equipments like floating belts. If they're terrified of getting in the water, we kind of put a floating belt on them and be like, hey, this is going to keep you afloat in the water. You don't have to be afraid of drowning. Trust this device. And slowly bringing them in. I know as an instructor, I've worked with a couple TOWs in my time at the Y, and to see using those floating devices, first of all, and ensuring them and kind of just reiterating that they're going to be okay and that they can trust us as well as the devices that they're using to keep them afloat. They slowly start getting used to it and they start relying a lot more on the devices and on their skill and like trusting that, hey, I can actually do this. And I've seen a lot of these students actually put their face full on in the water when before they didn't want to do that.
Let's talk about your training as instructors. That's a huge responsibility.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, you're not parents yet, but I think when you know what is entrusted to you, you know, someone is sending, you have kids from what, 4 or 5 years old?
Yes.
Going into the water, that's just like everything a parent possesses in your guidance. And, you know, what's the level of training that you go through and how do you acknowledge the responsibility you have once you do have the children in your care?
Well, I'm in charge of training all the instructors, the
Okay.
juniors and the seniors, and I'm so grateful that I have Katelyn by my side because she's a huge help as my senior. When we do begin training, it's harsh, it's strict, it's from the first day, it's setting that tone and that mindset that you will have an impact on the community bigger than you ever even realize. Because you are teaching someone's child to swim. You are letting them master a skill that is a life skill. They will carry this on until they're adults, until it becomes second nature. Wherever they go, they will take it. So it's really about setting that tone as soon as my instructors come in that this is serious. You are representing YMCA not only in Belize, but everywhere else. You are going to teach these kids right. And we will start from the basics up until we get down each stroke, each technique, and we will practice every day for hours. And I will make sure that all my instructors know the techniques to a T, because if they do not know it properly, they won't be able to teach it properly. So that's really that I focus on, not only that, but really the Y core values as well, because I look for that in all my instructors. And so they can pass that on to our students eventually. So honesty, responsibility, respect, caring.
So if you start your training for instructors and you realize perhaps someone isn't mature enough, they don't make it through the instructor phase,
And at what point do you
She's
become
like so cold-faced.
Yeah. And at what point do you become an instructor?
Yeah.
All right, let me help out. First of all, you can see why she's in charge of the instructor training.
She is strict. She's
Well, and she does have me here, so I guess she has to be.
Yeah.
Chloe is so right. It is very important. There are two things. First is you have to like children. And so we're very honest about that because combine what both of the senior instructors have said is you have to want, the child has to connect with you. So the first thing we let them know, if you don't like children, that'll come off right away.
Yeah.
They have to connect with you. The children trust you, and then you can do what? This other half, the technical teaching. But first it's just playing with them, and they're both great with TOWs. And not everybody is great with TOWs, and so they'll still make it even if they're not, but you use people's skill. So you have to like children. They go through a lot of training on high-fiving, congratulating them, motivating them, and letting them play. So the program is fun and skill learning.
Yeah.
That is the balance that has to be struck. So in training instructors, she still does a lot of team building activities. So they get their playtime.
Yeah.
So they actually experience that fun, and we get people who don't know to swim want to be instructors. And we take that opportunity to teach a teenager in the instructor program how to swim, and then other senior instructors work with them, because you can not be the best swimmer, right? So they start learning, as she said, is technical skills, and we're patient. So that gets to be manifested even in the training program, that so and so can't do 10 laps because they have to be fit enough too. So they do That's why she said hours. They will go at 8 and leave at 12 or 9 to 1 for the training. They get breaks in between. We get laminated papers with skill, so that's in the water. What do I teach first, second, third? And it's only through the generosity and the understanding of these young adults. I do a very poor job of, you all would say, bigging up these young people. I go to young awards all the time, and I know why young people do, including those who are not there. We have somebody in the accounts department who's just finished sixth form, doing checks, doing salaries, doing budget for swimming. So the idea is to expose them as well and push them. I remember Katelyn as saying, okay, I want to give back. Sometimes it's their parents want them to give back more. And they too entrust these 13-year-olds to us to teach them how to teach. And I've had friends over the years or professionals say, you should start to charge us, because when we send them to you and they come back, all of a sudden they're not chewing, they're not, the iPhones don't even go to the pool, they
realize the responsibility.
So yes, because you have the life of a child in hand. So you are, to answer directly your question, some people are slower in development of understanding that seriousness. You have on deck, or you have what we call junior instructors. So you're never alone with a group of kids. And they're learning from a senior instructor. So she will have command maybe of 2 lanes. And that's how we work with them too, so they work into movement forward.
I like that because what it allows for, what it allows for is that people won't be excluded, that they can reach the potential of being an instructor even if they're not ready from the start.
Dr. Clara, in today's day and age, we're seeing a lot of children being born not with, developing asthma. And I think this is one of the things that I think is very important in terms of them learning how to control that breathing. Then again, when it attacks you, it attacks you. What are we doing, especially for parents who would want to have their child learn how to swim, and they're bringing their child who is an asthmatic child, knowing that it feels like somebody or an elephant is actually standing on your chest? How are we dealing with sick children like this? How do we deal with it?
No, that's a great question. And when we are training, it's always in the back of my head that we don't know who we're going to get. We don't know what challenges we're going to face, what obstacles are going to turn up. And it's real. We do have children that come, and some of them have sickle cell, some of them have asthma, some of them have extreme anxiety. And we develop strategies to work through with it. Sometimes we'll have an instructor just work with that child one-on-one on a certain side of the pool. So that's also showing we don't exclude anyone at the Y. we will make it work.
Girls, why do you give your summer to this program? I mean, this is no school, no homework, all the time with friends, Netflix if you feel, whatever it is you want to do. Why are you spending it at the Y?
I mean, for me, I grew up learning with the Y for about 8 years. I was a student and I've learned to swim with them, and I really appreciated the structure that was the program then, and I really did. I loved seeing instructors and what they used to do. I remember looking at my swim instructors as a kid and like admiring the fact that these people are teaching me how to swim. They're teaching me this life-saving skill. And at the end of the program, I was like, I couldn't go any further because I had already gone through beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and there was nowhere else left for me to go except to turn back as an instructor now and to share my skills with them. And I think for me, the biggest impact is being able to look at a child come into water not knowing what they're doing, not knowing the basics of anything, but me being able to walk them through with the Y, teach them those skills, and to see them go down a lane swimming a perfect stroke, and to see them learning the skills that I've learned. And that's the biggest impact to me, knowing that I taught this child a life-saving skill.
Lovely, lovely. I don't want to see you guys swim.
And for you, Chloe?
I second that as well. It is a blessing and complete joy to see that a child you have taken under your wing, you have taken responsibility, to see that they have grown so much. You know, you help their confidence immensely with our program. And it is such a blessing to see that you had that impact. All the obstacles and everything that you go through, instructing, the training, you said it's so worth it. It's so worth it in the end. And that's it for me. I just can't stop. I keep coming back.
And I'm sure it's also a great opportunity to meet other people who kind of share the same values as you do in giving back and wanting to work with kids. What are some of the other fun aspects? So somebody at home is saying, okay, well, maybe I'll try it as an instructor. What are some of the other benefits as a young person dedicating your summer at the Y?
I think it's good for me because apart from being able to teach the skills, I'm able to connect with other youth that enjoy what I'm doing. And also in terms of training, we don't, like Chloe was mentioning, we kind of try to strike that balance between like fun and learning. So you're able to bond with these group of people. And I've met people through the Y that have become my really good friends, and I still talk with them now. So it's learning, you know, meeting new people that you probably didn't even know existed before, and being able to form those connections with them and those lasting friendships, and kind of knowing that, hey, I have a support system through you now and I can come back to you.
Nice.
Wow, beautiful.
All right, so I know that your summer program books up pretty fast. So you're opening up applications now.
That is.
What is the cost that we're looking at?
The cost for the swimming program is $125 for the 3 weeks of the program. And you can register through the Facebook, through the web page. The forms are on the web page. You can download. The office numbers are all there. So we're welcoming people. The only thing with the 4-year-olds, we try to be frank with parents. If your child really won't come out your hand from the pool, then please don't register them, because it's not fair to you or the child.
They have to have a level of independence.
So they have to have a level of independence, and they have to be 4 before January. Otherwise they're too young, and that's the one thing, we do not hold children in the pool. So they cannot, they have to walk in and sit down, at least that. Because then once you carry a child in the pool, they will stay in your arms. So that's rule number 1. And like they're saying, for instructors, if you need it, also some of them come for their hours that they need. I know SJC and some of the other BHS, they need hours. It's a great way, as they say, because we do the fun thing. It's a good responsibility. They play. I have to tell them, quiet down so Radisson doesn't kick us out. They have their play hour, and they have a blast with that. And the bonding and the friendship. I think they speak to the fact that whatever the program is, they're obviously yielding lots of benefits from it as young adults. I write letters too of recommendation, whether for jobs or scholarships for our leaders. And I certainly am, on behalf of the Y, our board and staff, very grateful to the parents too, who encourage them, rather than sitting at home, come and develop some skills, meet some other people, and contribute to our society positively.
Wow, lovely. Well said.
And can you still sign up to be an instructor as well?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay, and
the
it's
form,
the same process?
Yeah, the form is on the website already as well, and you can call us. Call the Y, the numbers are there, and we don't do instructor training until
June 24th to June 28th.
Okay. All right. And as you said very early in the show, this is a fundraiser to support programs that you have throughout the year.
That is correct. So all the parents who do this, that's why we want the slots that people who commit have to pay, because it is a contribution to our ongoing program. So be sure of what you're doing. It gets a lot of students to do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
One of the strength of our programs, as you asked earlier, and we want to say thanks to the St. Louis YMCA. They are now Gateway Y. They help us with techniques. Every 2 to 3 years, we bring in a new instructor and make sure the level and the quality of equipment that we're doing is at its best.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and giving us a jump start on the summer programs that are available. We wish you the best of luck. I'm pretty sure you're going to have parents calling you to get their kids in as quickly as possible. And remember, if you do have a teen, what age do you have to be an instructor?
We say first year of high school because of the responsibility level.
Okay.
So they have to be entering high school or already in high school.
All right.
And we want to make sure that people who don't want to do the swimming, Chloe and Katelyn will tell you, we have a whole behind the scene crew like you have that does all the certificates, that design flyers, that do accounting. So there's room for a lot of people. Yes, you can volunteer, that type the letters to the parents, that make the calls to OIE. So they have a strong team behind them, and that are their age as well. And I want to say thanks to all those volunteers in the office as well.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be getting all the details about San Antonio Days. Stay tuned.